Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, old friends and new friends. Welcome again, or for the first time, to the Morgan Podcasting Network. My name is Rod Morgan. We're doing a live broadcast for you this evening. We are live on Facebook now. You can catch us on Twitch. I'm not sure if that's live or if that's an after live tape situation on Twitch. I don't know.
It's live, baby.
There you go. We're live on Twitch. That's our producer, Jimmy Jamriska. We're going to hear from him in a second. You can also catch us on YouTube. We have a YouTube page like every podcast these days. We want to keep up with the Joneses, so we have one there. Give us a like, give us a follow, tell your friends, listen every now and again. It's free. That's all we ask. And we even from time to time cook up pop culture specials for you, and we've got one coming out right around July 4th, July 3rd maybe. This will drop for you. So if you got some downtime while you're getting ready for all your big fireworks plans, listen to a Saturday Night Live draft that we put together for you here at the Morgan Podcasting Network. But what we do on a more weekly basis is we talk about sports. Football just around the corner. Josh Williams, our football handicapper, set to make his triumphant return very shortly. But we have some NBA business to finish up. And of course, wrestling never stops, baby. That's 365 new episodes every week, PLEs every month. Another one of those coming up soon. And I am not qualified to talk about that by myself. We have a man who hosts all of those things for us. It's our executive producer, Jimmy Jamriska. Jimmy, hello.
This is one of my favorite shows of the year. Tons of stuff to talk about in the NBA and WWE. Rod, it's very good to be here.
And we, of course, have to have a third man to run the three-man weave like we do before we run a four-man podcast for football. Our guy, the old man, he helped Dr. James Naismith put up the first peach basket is what I was trying to say. Butchered the joke there. Chris King. Chris, hello.
What is up? And just for you listeners out there, they call me the old man, but I wasn't the one who needed to get an earlier start tonight.
That is very true. I got to take the L on that one. That's why I have to have somebody else host. And Jimmy Jamriska is going to run the fast break.
Welcome to the Fast Break, the fastest 15 minutes in the NBA. It is every NBA fan's just dream right here. We have the finals ending in a game 7. I'm not going to talk about that. Yes, of course we are. Well, it was a good run, gentlemen. It was a good run. They were hot, and then it happened. And when Tyrese got hurt, Rod, every single person in that arena, including Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, was sad that Halliburton got hurt. Wasn't that surreal? Wasn't that surreal?
It's not what you want to see 9 minutes into a game that you're expecting to be one of the best NBA games of all year, one of the best NBA games of the last couple of years, one of the NBA teams that I think we will remember the most. The old man has been paying into NBA attention longer than we have, Jimmy, but I don't know that I'll remember a team that lost the championship as much as I will remember this Pacers team. And so I think that there's something to be said for that. They got 15 wins, Chris. Not a lot of teams get 15 wins and don't get the championship.
Yeah, Chris. Rod was really shaken up about the Pacers loss.
And we got 15 wins, like you said, right? And it is going to be a real somber memory for us Pacer fans for a long time. Getting this close because we know how hard it is to get to the finals in the first place. It's going to be just as hard next year. I will say, I didn't lose hope when he went down. Did you?
I didn't lose hope, especially when they were up at halftime. But the score was 48-47 at half, though.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing, too. You should have expected a low-scoring Game 7. They are always low-scoring, right? Because a lot of nerves, a lot of hard defense, which you saw, and we couldn't keep control of the ball and kept turning it over when it just hurt us the absolute most, it seemed like.
Yeah, and they got up big, and then we started making a little bit of a comeback. I was like, is this going to happen again? We just didn't have it this time. But this comes down to, it's either win the championship or it's a wasted season. And that can't be. This was a great season for the Pacers. Unbelievable going to a game 7. Halliburton said multiple times that he doesn't regret what he did. I kind of agree with him. You kind of have to play in that game if you can. But man, that's just so horrible when you see it snap and you see the reverberation and you know exactly what it is. SGA after the game, all in his championship gear, going to give him a hug in the trainer's room. That's cool. I mean, that was neat. My kids who hate Oklahoma City Thunder just because they were playing the Pacers hate Oklahoma City Thunder. They even said, all right, fine, he's a good guy.
Right. And the thing that Rob was getting to, or you had mentioned, where everyone was silent when it happened on both sides. Both sides were upset and sad. Like, that shows the appreciation of the fans on both sides of this finals, right? OKC and the Pacer fans, they understood what kind of great basketball we were seeing. And I think they respected it. And no one wants to win a championship because of an injury. And I think that's part of it too. If you're an OKC fan, you wanted to beat us at full strength.
Yeah, you want to, but it's also you got to play the team in front of you, and that's why I hate anybody who says anything disparaging of all these people got hurt. Who cares? They played, they won. So that happened, and OKC is your champions. And then, Rod, 3 days later, we have the NBA draft. How crazy is the NBA
Trying
schedule?
to capitalize and make it a big primetime event, having it 2 nights. I'm not entirely sure that the NBA second round is enough to carry a whole night. So unnecessary. Man.
Yeah, so Rod is upset at the primetime event as well. So, yeah, I mean, listen, this Wednesday, Thursday's stupid. By the way, that was a long first round with all the commercials and things like that in the draft. I want to get to a couple of moves before the draft, though, Chris. The Rockets land Kevin Durant. Finally, we got that figured out. They didn't have to give up very much for him, I think, is what I took out of that. And they are primed right now to be a force in the West, I think, to go against OKC. They needed a scorer. I think Kevin Durant's a decent scorer. Your thoughts?
Yeah, if you want an elite scorer, you can't go wrong with Kevin Durant. Like, he still has all the skills necessary on that offensive end. And you got to think Houston is right up there as a favorite with OKC and, because they got Jokic, Denver. As long as they have Jokic, I always want to have Denver high up in the West. So Houston did what they needed to do, and they're a dangerous team now, even more so.
Austin Reeves declines an $89 million offer for the Lakers. That's really all they could offer him. So look for him to be a free agent here in a couple of years. That's some pretty big news there. I do want to talk a little bit about Phoenix and see what they're actually doing. They went from no centers to now having 2 centers, 3 centers really. Mark Williams, they finally get a trade from the Hornets with him. Hopefully he passes his physical. And then they also have Jalen Green now from the Rockets. What are your thoughts on what Phoenix is doing? They got a lot of threes right now.
Yeah, they do. They needed defense. Like, okay, they were getting old, right? I'm sorry, but they were getting old. They didn't have real good defense. And if you're going to survive in the West, I think it's pretty evident you need some top-tier defense. And they did. And listen, I think Mark Williams passed his last physical. I think there was some shenanigans going on there. But,
of course,
right, I think that's a good move for them, right? I like Mark Williams. He is a very solid performer when he's healthy.
Yeah, and but that's so many things you have to say. It's when he's healthy, when he's healthy, when he's healthy. And at some point, Chris, they're never healthy, I mean, Joel Embiid is never healthy. Zion Williamson is not healthy.
People say the dry heat is good for you, so maybe that's going to work out. He's going to Arizona. There's a lot of dry heat. Maybe that's going to help out.
I'm not going to lie. The dry heat in Phoenix is weird. Have you ever been out to Phoenix? Do you know about the dry heat?
No.
Okay, so it's weird because it's like 90 degrees. Like here in Indiana and Kentucky, 90 degrees, you go out and get the mail, you come back in, you need to take a shower, okay? Like legitimately, you're sweating all over the place. Phoenix, you can go run a marathon and you're not sweating. It's so weird. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. So maybe you're onto something there. Story of the draft though is Cooper Flagg. The Dallas Mavericks, number 32, had him ready. They are all ready for him. Do you think Cooper Flagg is going to live up to his potential?
There has really been only one person I can think of that has come close to live up to their potential when you're the number 1 overall pick. I think that's LeBron, right?
I think he's lived up to the potential. I think it's okay. He's lived up to it.
But that's about it. So it's going to be hard. That's some lofty pressure that gets put on these number 1 picks. You know, it's nice that they have a all-NBA veteran on the team and Anthony Davis. That's going to take a little bit of the pressure, but if they're going to expect him to come right out and be the next Luka, they may have to settle down a little bit because I don't know if he is. There's a lot to be seen. So I don't know. Good for him, right?
Yeah. Oh, wonderful for him. Yeah, for sure. Now, Chris, you mentioned something there, and I want to talk about that. Live up to the potential as the number 1 pick, okay? So let's go over some of these number 1 picks, and let's see if they've lived up to their potential, okay? We're not going to talk about Reshape, Wembanyama, Banchero, or Cunningham. Those are the last 4. You know, we'll give them some time there. But 2020 NBA draft, Anthony Edwards, would you say he's lived up to his potential?
Almost.
So but ascending though, you would say.
Yeah, like right. He still has opportunities.
So why don't we put that in a win? I think they would pick him again, number 1. I think they would.
I think they're happy with him. Yes.
2019 Zion Williamson, has he lived up to his potential?
That's a big no.
DeAndre Ayton in 2018, has he lived up to his potential?
Not sure he's still on a team.
He's on Portland. He is on Portland. He starts for Portland.
Still not sure.
He's on a team.
All right, still not sure.
2017 Markelle Fultz.
Oh, definitely not.
He's out of the league right now. 2016 Ben Simmons. There was a bad run there. Ben Simmons, 2016.
That was the 76ers, right? Oh, the Nets.
So he has it. Okay, Karl Anthony Towns, Cat, 2015. Would they have drafted him again, number 1 overall?
I'd have to see who else was in that draft.
I think you got to give, but I think he's someone that you would go with, right? I mean, he's fine. He's good. Andrew Wiggins. I'd like to see Andrew Wiggins, 2014.
Yeah, no.
Anthony Bennett, 2013.
No. Who?
AD 2012, I would say pretty good. I mean, but I mean, he's been hurt a lot though, right? Kyrie 2011. Kyrie 2011. Hurt a lot. Still champion though. Has a ring. So does AD, by the way. But AD does not have a ring with the team that drafted him. Kyrie did. So as you can see, and you know what? Going back further, dude,
they both needed LeBron to get their rings.
There's really not that many people who have lived up to that number 1 overall pick. So it's really a crapshoot for sure. And so many people try to get there, and it doesn't work all the time. So Cooper Flagg was a big pick there. Dylan Harper, no shot at all that the Spurs weren't going to take him, apparently. Really, the draft started with the Jazz. Ace Bailey, who didn't work out for anybody and did not want to go to Utah. He wanted to go to either Washington or
Didn't
Brooklyn,
he come out and
is what they're saying.
That he had no idea Utah was even interested in him?
Correct. Well, you wouldn't if you don't answer the phone when they call. That's the thing. Do you like this move by Danny Ainge? I love it because let me tell you one thing. It's a draft. You get taken where you get taken, and you don't really have much to say about it. So I love that.
Well, sometimes you do. Ask Eli, right? Sometimes you get to dictate. But, I mean, I don't know what to think about this kid, right? Like, I definitely saw him play quite a few times at Rutgers, and he's definitely got all the talent in the world, but I don't know. And I'm not one to doubt Danny Ainge either, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has made infinitely more smart decisions than I ever have. So if he sees it or he has something else up his sleeve, maybe get on it.
We'll get Rod's thoughts on Ace Bailey here in a second. But Rod, I want to talk to you about the Celtics real quick. Big Celtics guy. Drew for Simons, Porzingis for Georgie Yang. How you feeling as a Celtics fan right now?
I'm hearing a lot of talk out there that has me a little bit angry. Actually, there's some talk out there that like Celtics fans should be happy. This is good for the Celtics. Like, no, under no circumstances are either of these things good for the Celtics. You don't want to be giving up Drew Holiday. You don't want to be giving up Kristaps Porzingis. But for what had to happen, they did as well as you could hope them to do. They've cleared up a little bit of space underneath the cap. They have a little bit of flexibility to make moves. So, East is wide open. Why not the Celtics as the 5 or 6 seed next year, right? Come on. That's the best I can hope for at this point.
Well, we all know that Celtics like to shoot threes, and they just traded for two people who shoot a lot of threes. So I think that'll be good there for them. And they saved, $250 million on next year's payroll and the tax. That's not a small amount. That's an amazing job by Brad Stevens to get that taken care of.
Good for him and good for the new rich guy that owns the Celtics. I don't care much, but the Celtics had to do what they had to do because Jason Tatum got hurt. So let's roll on. But hey, it doesn't. Actually, we don't even have to play next year. The Oklahoma City Thunder have already been guaranteed to win the next 3 championships, so we don't even have to play next year, Jim. We don't have to go
That's
through.
True.
We don't.
Because that has happened a lot, Rod, where you have multiple championships in a row from the same team, especially in the last 20 years. So that's helped. That's happened a lot. What are your thoughts on the Ace Bailey to Utah draft pick?
My thoughts are don't sleep on this. All right. It's going to be easy for everybody to say the kid's not going to turn down money, but like they've acted weirdly this whole entire time. So, who's to say? Who's to say that he actually puts his name on the contract? Because until he does that, he's not actually going to be playing basketball for the Utah Jazz. So I don't know. I'd imagine, right, that cooler heads will probably prevail and he'll just be like, Utah's not any good anyway. I got just as good a shot there as I do anywhere else at getting to my second contract. But I just wonder how much more of this we're going to see in the future, I guess would be my question here, Jim. It sounds as if what's going on, from the best you can piece together, is that Ace Bailey's representation and I guess Ace himself are worried about his second contract. And so worrying about that second contract, they don't want to get put on a team like our guy Reed Shepherd, right? Who's the number 3 pick in the draft, got put on the Rockets and wasn't allowed to play. That's going to mess up what his second contract's going to look like already. And while you say, okay, I get it, this is America, you're allowed to make whatever decisions you want, get as much money as you can, right? This is a capitalist society. But don't worry about the second contract before you got the first would be the biggest advice I would give to Ace Bailey. So let's just go play, son.
Yeah, I think definitely, Chris, you have to be in the league first. Yeah, Chris, you have to be in the league first to actually get your second contract, right?
Yeah, and you better be at least a little bit successful if you want to get that second contract too, right? Because it will suck if you get stuck on the bench, right? And languishing, right? Because next thing you know, you're in the G League trying to get your way back up.
We've got to talk about this Hawks and Pelicans trade. Joe Dumars making a big splash, trading next year's unprotected first-round pick, the best of either them or Milwaukee, to the Hawks for Derek Queen, who, again, I think is a good player, but also, as everyone else in America who watches basketball, how do the Pelicans think they're going to do anything next year that's not going to be that's not going to be a lottery pick?
Delusions of grandeur, maybe?
I don't know.
Right? I mean, they obviously know they have to do something. So I maybe they're grasping at straws a little bit, right? But you got to think maybe they do know what they're doing, right? Because to be honest, well, let's think about it for a second. I'm going to use the Pacers as an example. Toppin was a high draft pick originally, but that team didn't think enough of him that they wanted to keep him around, right?
Sure.
And so, but he became an integral part of a team that made a run on the championship. So these people sometimes are smart. I don't think the Pelicans are that, but you never know.
Rod, are the Pelicans smart in this, or did Atlanta really get something over on them?
I'd say Atlanta really got something over on them. Atlanta basically got Kristaps Porzingis for free. You're excited if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan right now. Cacaw, go Hawks. And we shouldn't be throwing all of this voodoo on the Pelicans, right? There's plenty of bad that the Pelicans have done as a franchise over the past 15 years, but this is Joe Dumars, all right? This is exactly what Joe Dumars did at the end of his run running the Detroit Pistons. Is the exact reason that he didn't have a job working for a team for a bunch of years, and this is what happens, right? You go do a job, you do that job well enough, the stink from your last job goes away, and people are like, hey, Joe Dumars, he does a good job running the league. Every single person in the NBA works with Joe Dumars because he works at a high-ranking job in the league. Joe's great at pressing the flesh, shaking hands, meeting with owners. New owner down in New Orleans. Oh, hey, guess what? Joe Dumars would be the right guy to run our team. Clearly not, because the first move he makes is he moves up 10 spots in a draft and Burns was probably a lottery pick the following year. That stuff doesn't happen in the NBA, but apparently it does when you're Joe Dumars.
So we did talk about Cooper Flagg a little bit. Do you think he's gonna live up to the expectations of being the number one pick? Now, we looked at the last 20 years of number one picks. It's basically half and half. I'm not counting the last four, the K draft to the Wemby draft, or to the reshape draft. But really, from 2000 to 2020, like 10 guys would still be picked number one, and the teams would be happy with it. Do you think Cooper Flagg is going to live up to that?
Like you said, he's got a 50-50 shot at living up to the hype, right? He's been talked about before he even landed at Duke. You know, he's been the great white hope for an awful lot of his life. We're going to basically be dealing with that as well. You know, like we don't talk about race with Cooper Flagg all the time, but it's always kind of bubbling up there, right? Like there's just a lot of entities that would love for that guy to be the face of the league. And so there's going to be a lot of pressure on that kid. It certainly seems like he's got a big enough body and frame to be able to handle the physicality of the NBA. So that looks up. He's got a great basketball IQ. That looks up. People say he's a hard worker, right? So he's not going to, you know, not want to put in the work, which is the reason that a lot of number one picks fail. So I don't know. I guess he's probably got a 65 to 70% chance. I'd give him a better than a 50-50 shot would be my answer.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close there. It's weird because there's two different directions right now. You got really young. 1 year ago, he was 17 years old and going into Duke. He's only 18 years old right now, which is something just flabbergasting. You know, it's crazy that that's how good he was. But he's always been playing up 2-3 years. So he hopefully will be ready for the challenge. Chris, anything else you took out of the draft you want to chat about?
No, I'm going to be honest with you guys. After Game 7, I cared way less about the draft. Pacers didn't have a round one pick. I didn't expect them to do any kind of crazy moves. And I didn't want to keep reminding myself and keep seeing 2025 champs, Oklahoma City. I didn't want to watch it all. So I didn't watch it all.
Rod, something that I have seen a lot. It's, hey, he needs to work on a shooting, needs to work on a shooting. Why would you ever draft anyone who can't shoot in this day and age in the NBA? Rod didn't like that question.
I'm confused too. Like, you're supposed to be a professional, right? Your job as a professional basketball player is to put the ball in the hoop and stop the other team from putting the ball in the hoop. That's two things you have to be good at, I think. You're not wrong. There's way too many guys that I saw get drafted as like, hey, you know, you want to see, he only shot 30% or 33% from three. You would like to see him improve his shooting, right? Even the Ace Bailey, right? They talked about him. His damage is really in the mid-range, and they want to see him shoot better, but he has all the other skills. And he does kind of remind me of a Pascal Siakam type guy, right? Tall, lanky, big wingspan, can play defense, disrupt things, but still got to work on his shooting. So I guess maybe it's because these guys are young and they think, okay, we can build these people up. But, you know, Steph Curry was a true shooter, even in college.
A lot of French people again, a lot of French players again this year. To the Bulls, shout out to Cowboy Derek here, Noah Esenge, who was on his list of people to get. But again, with him, it's he can drive to the rim and score through him. Great. Can't shoot. Awesome. Great. Fantastic. Good. Love it.
Isn't this more like a Wembanyama wake, like
Yes.
they're getting drafted because of the wake of Victor. Like
It might
they just
be.
got carried along with him. I think him making that French national team so good has maybe got more eyes on some of those players, but I think it's, hey, look at this kid. Look what they're doing over there. Let's get more. You saw it a little bit with Yao Ming when he came over. You saw a couple others get drafted around the same time. I think Jeremy Lin maybe was one of the reasons he was taken seriously is because of the Yao Ming factor. So I think that happens sometimes, unfortunately, and I think that's what's happening here.
All right, well, that is going to do it for the fast break. Let's go to the Yeah We Know podcast, and hopefully Rod will, you know what, get his temper down and actually answer a question maybe.
I'm going to try.
Chris, take us home.
Goodbye, Internet.
Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Knows Podcast Network. We're in the ring with Jimmy, Chris, and Rod. And Rod changes his values as much as I change my T-shirts, much like CM Punk and John Cena. Rod, how did you like the Pipe Bomb 2 promo from John Cena?
It was interesting, right? I always say I want interesting. It's the thing I get on Cody Rhodes the most for. It's the thing I've been mad at John Cena for during this comeback, as well as wrestling matches not being great. We haven't seen a great wrestling match yet, but we're finally seeing something interesting from Cena. We're seeing him seem like he actually cares. We're seeing his putting his teeth into some actual dramatic work. WWE wise, I mean, we're not going for awards here or anything like that, but WWE wise is about as dramatic as it can get. And I thought it was good. I think a lot of it went over my head. You know what I mean? I think there was a lot of references there that went a little over my head, and I'm sure a bunch of them went over the old man's head, but I think I got the gist of it, and I was pretty impressed with it.
And much like CM Punk, Chris, you're not the voice of the voiceless anymore. You're a millionaire despite yourself. How'd you like the promo?
I liked it, right? It was what I wanted to see. There was a line in that promo, though, that Cena said where he talks about Punk wanting to destroy the WWE as we know it, right? Previously, in a previous era of Punk, apparently. Is this like a big double cross to us, to the fans? Are we going to see a job being done in the ring on Fight Night where Punk just like gets a tap on the shoulder and goes down, and he teams up with Cena? Or are they still pushing him as a babyface?
No, I don't think that's going to happen. Cena might go heel though. I could see that. Obviously, the Cena run isn't going as well as they've wanted it to. But so this was a cool promo because it was very similar to CM Punk's promo when in 2011 he won a number one contender, so he was going to go to Money in the Bank. Now, no one cared a lot. Okay, I shouldn't say that. People did not care as much about CM Punk at all back then. And then all of a sudden he comes out and he sits down on the top of the stage and he continues to go on and on for about 10 minutes or so, railing on the WWE. He looks at the camera and says, "Hi, Colt Cabana," which was his best friend at the time. Lot of story, a lot of history with that. Just calling out people and that kind of started what we have now in CM Punk. And so that is why when John Cena looked at the camera and said, "Hi, I'm breaking the fourth wall," he was mocking that part of the promo. And then, which a really cool way, when he said, "Hi, Claudio Castagnoli," which was Cesaro, that's Cesaro's name. "Hi, Nick Nemeth," which is Dolph Ziggler. And then "Hi, Matt Cardona," which was Zack Ryder. So those are three ex-WWE guys. Claudio is in AEW. Nick Nemeth is in TNA, and then Matt Cardona is the king of the indies right now. So kind of just bringing that in. Now, I heard that those weren't the first three choices of names they wanted to use. They wanted more use AEW names, but still I thought that was pretty cool. CM Punk had to lay a long time though on that table when that was when that was going out.
Good thing it wasn't a match. He'd be pinned real easily.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Rod, you back with us yet,
Well,
bud?
listen, I'm going to try to leave my camera off and see if that helps our internet connection here the rest of this evening. I again, Verizon, you don't pay us, so I'm going to say this is terrible. We had no problems for a little while, and now I got nothing but problems. So I'm going to do my best here, fellas.
Okay, it's going to go great for the breakouts for TikTok when it's just the big R in the middle. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's just hit the Night of Champions right now. Let's go for it. There were some things happen in the world that put into a little bit of concern about the WWE going to Saudi Arabia for this event. They're there now. Best wishes to every single person there, and I hope everybody is safe. I think we can all say that for sure. 10 a.m. start time. I think 10 a.m. Eastern start time, 9 a.m. On the Central Time. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross has been added to Night of Champions. Chris King, who you got, and how excited are you to see Karrion Kross?
What a pop Kross got on Raw, right?
Yep.
Just showing up, and the crowd went nuts. Good for him. Let's go.
Who you got? You thinking?
So I'm picking Kross.
Karrion Kross is going to win that one. I think Sami Zayn is actually going to win this, but he's going to win it nefariously. He's going to break some rules. He's going to cheat because Karrion Kross is going to drive him to that. Rod, what do you think?
Ditto. Count me on your side, Jimmy. That's absolutely what we're going to see here. We're going to see a new turn for Sami Zayn, and that turn is going to be back to evil-ish Sami Zayn, right? I don't know how dastardly we're going to get into the depths with bad guy Sami Zayn, but we're certainly going to see a bit of a bad guy Sami Zayn here, and that works better for Kross, right? Like, we all want to see Kross win, but he's not really going to win because where does he go if he wins? He just needs to be involved in an interesting storyline. So Sami's going to win, and him being dirty to do it is the interesting storyline.
So we have to remember, Chris, that this is in Saudi Arabia, Night of Champions. So things don't always work how we think they're going to. Are you concerned at all about that for this match?
That statement makes me concerned for your guys' pick. If that's the more interesting story and this is Night of Champions, they're not going to do it. They're just going to have Karrion Kross beat Sami down because Sami won't go heel and cheat. He'll think about it and decide not to, which will make Kross mad or whatever, right? So I think if anything can happen, I think I'm more likely to be right than you guys. I'm not a professional wrestling fan like you, though, Jimmy.
No, you're not, Chris. You've only had a podcast for 3 years. That's fine. Not a wrestling fan at all. I will tell you, at Fanatics Fest, I don't know if you've seen this on any of the social media, but Macho Man and Iron Sheik, they went as cosplay, and some old guy started yelling at the Iron Sheik because he had the Iranian flag, and he just starts yelling at him.
Oh, man, you got to be careful going to Sheik these days.
Oh, the guy's dressed as the Iron Sheik, and of course he didn't break character. I will make you humble.
Yeah. You can't break when you're the Sheik, right? You can't. You got to show the respect.
You can't. Yeah.
He never broke.
In a women's division that is all upside down right now, in a street fight, Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez are going to go against each other. I think Rhea Ripley wins this one. Yeah, I just think Rhea Ripley's going to go over on this one. I mean, there could definitely be some ways where someone could help Raquel Rodriguez win, but I don't think that'll happen. I've got Rhea. Rod.
Hey, wait,
Chris, who you got?
All right, wouldn't let me back in for a second.
Oh, sorry, there you go.
Jimmy, why don't we just keep slow building Raquel Rodriguez? Like, why do we have to do this to her? You know what I mean? Like, we've been here before with Raquel and Rhea, and now you're just like, you're kind of fast cooking them, and you're making them fight at Night of Champions. Like, let's just keep Raquel being in the Judgment Day. The new thing with Roxanne, that's something, right? She's got the tag team belt, but her partner's down. That's something, right? Like, there's lots of story we can keep telling with Raquel to maybe get her to the point where we're like, yes, you, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, it makes sense for all three of you to be in the ring together as badasses, but she's not there right now, and getting whomped by Rhea Ripley at Night of Champions aren't going to help her. So I don't understand why we always have to rush Raquel into supposed big matches. I just don't get it.
So then, does Roxanne help Raquel win?
Maybe that'd be the only way that this makes sense to me.
Okay, but you think Rhea's going to win though? All right, Chris, who you got?
Rhea. I don't really care about Raquel. I'm not that invested into her yet. I do want to see Rhea become more of the badass we were accustomed to, and that only happens with her giving Raquel a beatdown.
Speaking of beatdowns, I'm actually looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be hard hitting. I think it's going to be fun. Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, United States Championship match. Man, I really want Hikuleo to debut here and cost Jacob Fatu the U.S. Championship, but he's not. Jacob Fatu will defeat Solo Sikoa and retain the championship. Chris?
I'm pretty sure Solo has the numbers, right? He's got JC in his corner. It's Saudi Arabia. Anything can happen. Let's switch a belt.
You're switching the belt. Rod, do you think that this would be a good idea to switch the belt now?
No, absolutely not. Fatu is going to win here, and it's pretty amazing to me that Fatu is essentially the best person on the microphone in the entire Bloodline family. Like, Solo might even be better on the mic than Roman, right? I mean, he's really, really good on the mic, and people don't like him, so nobody's going to want to hear that opinion. But if you just boil down his talking on the microphone and his facial expressions that he can get and the emotions he can draw out, Solo's really, really good on the mic, man. I got to give Solo a lot of credit. He seemed like somebody that was going to fall by the wayside, and they figured out a way to make him interesting yet again. But I don't see him wearing the U.S. Championship belt, so I got Fatu. He's too hot right now to lose.
And then we have the women's Queen of the Ring between Jade Cargill and Asuka. Jade did not look very on top of things in her matchup, but that's okay. I think Jade has to win this match because I want to see Jade win this match so we can go with a Naomi storyline. Rod, I just want to see that happen, and you're looking at the number one Asuka fan.
I know, but we also need this match to be quick because of what you just said. Jade is still a little green in the ring. She is not great at handling things. Asuka's still a little robotic right now. Still got an awful lot of rust. Hasn't wrestled an awful lot in a while, and she hasn't looked great in either of her matches leading into this. So everybody just needs to be careful, right? Like, I'm going to quote an old show here, Hill Street Blues, where the cop would come on at the end and he would tell everybody, be careful out there, right? And Bill Simmons talks about be careful out there games when it comes to betting. And this is everybody be careful out there wrestling match, all right? Jade, don't hurt Asuka. She just came back.
Oh, you better not hurt Asuka. Chris King.
I think it's got to be Jade, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because then, you get right back into the Jade.
Is Chris out now? Oh, there you go, Chris. You good?
Yeah, no. I think it's got to be Jade. As much as I like Asuka, I think it's got to be Jade.
All right. Well, there's a higher power right now saying do not record this podcast, but we're going to do it anyway because when do we listen to anybody, right? Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. How about this for a King of the Ring final? Let's just sit back and enjoy that we actually have a King of the Ring final that people are going to care about. And Cody Rhodes will win, and he will go on to SummerSlam to face evil John Cena and hopefully get the belt from him, Rod.
That's what you want to see happen, huh? You want to see Cody win the belt from John Cena at SummerSlam? I don't know if that's what I like. Yep. And you're right though. I mean, there's no possible scenario where Randy wins this. There just isn't. I've tried to come up with it in my head. I've tried to make it happen. It just can't. So give me Cody Rhodes, but I don't like it.
And Chris.
Still waiting to see the legend killer, Randy Orton, that I've been promised since he came back.
He's like 50. Give the guy a break.
I get to see it on Saturday. Let's go.
Okay, and then Chris, double check your mic and see if your mic is picking you up or if it's the other one.
Didn't you hear me?
What was that, Rod? Yeah, barely, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. Rod? All right, well, nobody wants to talk. That's fine. Chris, I can hear you though, Chris.
I think I'm about to be cut off.
Randy Orton. He's going to win.
It's Randy Orton. So, by the way, shout out to Cody Rhodes and his new podcast with Kevin Owens. Oh, I loved that so much. It was like an hour and 15 minutes of two best friends talking about wrestling and, getting some things in there. Oh, it's great. So big shout out to them. And then finally, we have John Cena versus Phil CM Punk. I know Rod's coming back for this one. Verizon can't even take him down for this one. Rod will be here to make a prediction for John Cena versus CM Punk. John Cena is going to win the match. I don't think it's going to be very good because John Cena can't move very well. So I have John Cena winning. And then I think Cody Rhodes is going to bring that up where he said, hey, at WrestleMania, I expected a wrestling match, but everyone has been right. You can't wrestle anymore. So you and I at SummerSlam will go into and then it'll probably be like some kind of a no disqualification match or something like that. So I think Cena wins this one. Chris, who you got?
Is Rollins going to be in Saudi Arabia?
You never know, do you?
Give me Cena.
Okay, Cena wins. You think Rollins is going to come out?
I think he might, which gives Cena an opportunity to do something dastardly and continue to ruin wrestling.
Oh, stop him from getting the belt. Okay. Rod, John Cena, CM Punk. Phil, sorry, you don't know who that is. Phil, who you got?
Give me Cena. Give me Cena. I keep trying to write what exit strategy I want from this whole Cena story, and I don't know that I'm there yet. I certainly don't want it to be Phil. So give me Cena. Do I love Seth Rollins? Yes. Do I love Paul Heyman? Yes. Do I love Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed? I love all of them. Don't know exactly what I want to see out of that group right now either. So I guess just give me a straight up win here and have Seth not be around.
All right. Well, we are going to try to get out of here now before everything blows up. Really appreciate you listening to the Yeah We Know podcast. We appreciate you listening to TMYK Live. We are here every Thursday. We're going to have a big SNL special coming up on the July 4th weekend. And then Williams will be back, and we will be able to see what team this year I jinx for the entire year. I will take money to pick your team.
Jimmy the Jinx. He's coming.
I may pay you some money to jinx the Ingles. Goodbye, Ned. Yeah.
Did you say Engels? Like Joe Engels? Does he have a football team now?
Eagles. You knew who I meant.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if it was a Bengals. It was an Engel. Yeah, I listen, Joe Engels, shout out to him. I don't think I really want to hurt him, though.
I'm a Cowboys fan. That's the